Okay, so now we're talking about the 401k max or match strategy. So just want to be clear as a reminder that in this section, we are talking about ways to fund college. We're not talking about ways to increase aid eligibility. So great candidates for the strategies that we're talking about are pretty much families that where the student is not a financial aid candidate and or the school won't provide more financial help, more financial aid, even if you've already demonstrated a need. So once you get to the point to where you've maximized you're optimized and maximize your financial aid potential, but you still find yourself in a situation where you need more money, we're going to, obviously do the things to get scholarships. Now, these are funding strategies that can also benefit your family and your situation. Now, you always want to consult with your tax professionals and or maybe your financial or legal professionals just to make sure that this strategy is something that you can actually implement in a safe and healthy way for your overall financial well-being. As a concept and as a strategy, we just want to make it known to you that these strategies are available, but your situation is really going to dictate if it's something that you should actually implement or not. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this. So 401k max or match strategy. So remember, when we talked about the 401k in the past, there's an add back, a feature where it's the funds that you contribute to your 401k is added back to your income and, hurting your chances of qualifying for need-based financial aid. But we're not talking about financial aid here. We're talking about college funding. Now, this is a pretty cool strategy, and it can do some good for you if, used the right way. So consider making maximum contributions to your 401k plan, or at least up to your employer's matching limit. A good way to do this is to use the cash from a college budget. So let's say, assuming that you're in a situation where you have money allocated or budgeted for college. Hey, we know we can put $1,000 towards the college bill on a monthly basis, or maybe 12,000 on an annual basis, or 10,000, whatever that number is for you. Assuming that you have that budget, these monies or that money could be used to maximize your 401k contributions if you're not already. So we'll talk a little bit more about this. So this strategy enables you to fund your retirement plan, create tax savings since your contributions are deducted from your AGI, thus reducing your taxable income. If you receive an employer match, you would get an immediate return and boost your retirement/college emergency fund and can provide a source of funds for college if needed. So when I say if needed, that's really important. If let's say you've budgeted for $1,000 a month and come to find out your student doesn't really need that. Maybe they got a few scholarships in year one or year two, or maybe you have a 529 or some type of savings program and you don't really need that money right now. This can be a great strategy for you to beef up your retirement and then have money on reserve, right? When it comes to what's in your 401k, if you need to borrow against it and use it for college. Now, stick with me here. So this is, okay, so let's, for example, suppose you're paying 30% in taxes, federal and state, right? And you receive a 6% match on all contributions. Usually it's a limit, but let's just, for the sake of the math, let's say on all contributions. By contributing $5,000 into your company 401k plan, you can enhance your retirement savings, right, with the contribution. And then you get an extra $300 per year, the 6% match on the $5,000. And then you also be saving $1,500 in taxes. Now, the $1,500 that you're saving in taxes could be allocated for college or retirement and create a larger 401k balance that, if needed, could be borrowed against for college costs. Now, this strategy can also be coupled with a student loan strategy if the projected 401k returns are greater than the interest rates on the student loans, right? That might be available to your student, plus loans, private loans, federal loans. This strategy is ideally for a family that has the budget to contribute monthly and or annually to the student's college expenses, but may not need to do so based on financial aid or scholarships that the student may have received to reduce the anticipated costs. Okay, as I mentioned a little earlier. So before you implement the strategy, I always suggest you communicate with your employer, right? You want to understand either with your employer or your 401k provider to know the terms, all the terms and details related to borrowing from your 401k to pay for college. Usually they're more favorable when the money is going to be used for college, and there's also it's more favorable when it comes to tax treatment and the 59.5 penalty. But I would also always communicate with your tax advisor, maybe your financial advisor, your employer, as well as your 401k provider, just so you're in the know. But if you're in the situation, you're a good candidate for this particular strategy, it may kind of do a few good things for you as far as help you beef up your retirement, have cash on reserve that's earning, maybe a great rate of return based on how your 401k is performing, also reducing your taxable income, giving you a tax savings, but also a nest egg to use for retirement or college with favorable borrowing terms if you need the money or if you need the funds. So maxing out your 401k or at least contributing up to the match so you get the immediate rate of return, right? For every dollar you contribute with that match, this can, actually do a few different things for your overall financial well-being versus just, saving for retirement. So hopefully this was clear and you understood it. If you have questions, I'm here to answer them. But this is just another concept and a strategy that you may want to consider.